Hi guys, it's Shane Verkest with the Columbia Chronicle, and let's talk about birth control. There are many types of birth control commercially available today, but all with one glaring issue. They're all mostly made for women. Sure, there's the classic condom, but comparing that to a daily hormone pill almost feels insulting. Still, the question remains, why do women have a plethora of options specific to their bodies while men have just one? We talked to some Columbia students around campus to get their opinion on why there hasn't been a commercially available male birth control.
People become complacent with a lot of the work being done on the women's end and not really male. Obviously there's contraceptives like condoms and stuff like that, but there can definitely be more. There's a lot more for women. There should be a lot more for men.
It's been so widely regarded as something that women do, and there's lots of reasons why women take birth control other than just stopping pregnancies. A lot of it can help with periods and even things like hormonal acne and stuff like that. Since it already exists for that reason, it was just assumed that all women would just use that as the birth control.
I mean, honestly, misogyny. I guess the conversation is always kind of put on women to be responsible. The blame is kind of always on the women. But I feel this should be a conversation about involvement of both women and men, because it takes two people to create life.
I think some of it has to do with kind of the cemented views on it's kind of on the women. Usually when it comes to birth control, there are the contraceptives, and males are usually oriented towards condoms or stuff like that. There isn't so much of a push on the male side to kind of extend that.
Mostly it's because for so long it has been a patriarchy in all ways, especially medical.
We live in a male-dominant society. The whole sexual encounter of America is kind of built towards their gaze.
I think we're so used to women taking the energy and effort into not giving birth, and I don't think there's enough attention on the male counterpart and how they play a part in controlled sex. I don't think it's been made yet because the focus right now is still solely on women and how they should be taking care of everything, and I think there's an immediate imbalance.
Still, even if a male birth control existed, there would be some question as to whether or not men would actually utilize it. Some of the students we asked seemed pretty enthusiastic.
Yeah, I would probably take it, just to kind of share that responsibility. What part do men play in this, and how can we better prevent things like that if that is a conversation within a relationship?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a safe decision. I would recommend people wear condoms, and I would recommend people take this pill too. I think it makes things easier, and it shouldn't all just be on women.
Others were more skeptical.
No, because when it comes to women, we get it. We don't want our bodies to go through certain things, or they probably wouldn't fully grasp the understanding of taking birth control and not bearing a child.
I think it would depend on the kind, how they were raised, how they view themselves in relationships and gender norms. Because they haven't had to, a lot of people aren't going to want to, instead of having women always be the ones to essentially give up our chemicals in our brain, give up our hormones working correctly, because we're the ones that are stuck with the physicality of being pregnant and having the child.
I think it would be emasculating to a lot of men, or at least culturally we would explain it as such. And so a lot of it would be backlash from women trying to be you should take this, and very fragile men saying this is emasculating and not our job, because historically we've decided it's not.
Still, some of the students we asked seemed to have a sense of optimistic enthusiasm.
Oh, hell yeah. Then I wouldn't have to keep buying condoms. That's just expensive. So yeah, I would definitely do it, especially if it was cheap. I'm sure, financially, between buying condoms and just, getting some sort of contraceptive like that, it would be cheaper in the long run. I think it would take a lot of convincing. Again, I think men are kind of indoctrinated into just buying condoms. If the knowledge is more widespread, I think men could do it at some point.
Well, there you have it, guys. Those are some thoughts from students around campus. With the Columbia Chronicle, I'm Shane Verkest, signing off.